Alright guys, we're back in here today on the Big Kountry YouTube channel in the More Mafia Dyno Room. We got some big stuff we're trying today. Finally, a velocity stack comparison. And then I have one more part of some secret sauce for the Honda CBR 1000. I told y'all I was gonna reach out and I'm gonna get us some stuff. We're gonna make more power with this thing today. I'm almost positive of it. Alright guys, so like I said, today we have got some comparisons to do. We have the Stringer variable velocity stacks in there right now that we made good power with, okay? We made that power last week, so we're gonna start today. We're gonna start off by making a baseline pull, get us 2 or 3 pulls down, and see exactly what the Stringer stacks make today. A lot of people, I don't care what they say, Chris more dynos, more bikes, and probably anybody in the world, temperature, humidity, all that stuff will change your numbers. So we have to dyno the motorcycle right now. Then we're gonna spend probably 20, 30 minutes or so to take those velocity stacks out. We got some velocity stacks from Turn 13 Motorsports. We are gonna put those velocity stacks straight in, run it on the dyno right then, and then I'm gonna let y'all simmer for a second and wait to the end to see what my mod is. I got a mod that nobody else has done on the CBR 1000. Yes, a Suzuki modification on a CBR 1000. Y'all stay with me and see what I got up my sleeves.
There has never been a Honda in this world that the dyno says slow down for.
Dude, double R done put the dyno on notice.
What? 182.97 horsepower, 182.93, 182.72. So we got good consistent readings. Let's put this over in, so we also did it in time as well. So this is a pretty cool thing to see. So let's delete the top speed run. We did that in 6th gear just for fun, but it looks like to go from, we were starting it at 4,000 RPMs and we were stopping it at 13.9. Looks like it took about 9 seconds dead on each time in order to do that. So we can also go in and see how fast we went. So we'll pull up that other.
Where is the 9 seconds at? Okay.
Right here, time.
Oh, okay.
9 seconds. So it took 9 seconds. We did it in 6th. It took basically 10 seconds in 6th. So now we're going to delete those other runs and then we're going to put this over in speed. And we hit 200 miles per hour. Looks like dead on 200 miles an hour with the gear ratio you got.
Dude, 200 mile an hour double R, I mean, pretty spiffy, dude. So now we can go in, since we have a time of our velocity stacks. That's our velocity stacks, the stringer velocity stacks, variable stacks that move. So now we have some more stacks from turn 13 for the CBR that we're gonna swap in there. So this is gonna be an accurate test to see on the same day, the same time. We're gonna have about 30 minutes for me to change these stacks out. And then we can go in and we can see, we can overlap the graphs and show where each stack works better at, which one makes more power, which one takes longer to get there, whatever. We can get a full test on these two stacks together and see which one is the best option for this CBR. Alright guys, so I got my turn 13 stacks out, okay? And when I picked them up, I noticed like, holy crap, these are like paper, I don't say paper thin, but like they feel like paper, dude. They weigh nothing, right? And then obviously you got a lot going on with the stringer stacks, so they feel a good bit heavier. So the stringer stacks also have their little ECU box, which I'm not gonna take off because I don't know which stacks we're gonna put back in the bike yet. So I'm leaving that in there. Just know that this thing probably weighs another 6 ounces. So, you know, I'm all about the weight reduction stuff over here. So when I seen how heavy these were compared to this, I'm like, we gotta weigh this and at least put this in the video, because this could help determine what's a better option for certain racers. That's gonna be the thing with all of this. These velocity stacks a lot of times are based on what application you're doing. Are you road racing? Are you drag racing? Are you street racing? Whatever. It's a huge deal. So I'm giving you the info. You determine what would work best for your bike. Whichever one of these velocity stacks I pick does not mean that's the best application for every motorcycle. So let's go ahead and weigh them and see. The stringer stacks, 15.7 ounces. So right at almost 1 pound for those. Definitely gonna be over a pound when you include the harness and the little ECU box that comes with it. So I would say at least 1 pound right there. So now the turn 13 motorsport stacks, only 3 ounces. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in the bike. That's gonna lose you basically 1 pound of weight to go from this to this. So we're gonna see, is the horsepower gains, if there's horsepower gains, are they gonna, we're gonna see, okay? We're gonna see. I'm really trying to see if these stacks are worth it. These stacks, keep in mind, are approximately 1,500. These stacks are approximately 300. So let's see when we get them put in, the performance, where these stacks are better, where these are better. Right now, the turn 13 on weight, they got 1 point, that's for sure. So let's check it out and see what happens now. We got our turn 13 stacks in there. We've seen one advantage of the turn 13s is the weight, okay? So now we're gonna get it on here and we're gonna do real dyno testing. So it was about, I don't know, probably a 20-minute procedure to put the stacks in. So now we're gonna get the bike warmed back up, get Chris back out here. We're gonna get it back at the exact temperature that we made the other runs at. We're gonna do it where it sets up at the exact same time as the other runs. And we are gonna have to change some fueling and stuff on the bike because we know that those stringer stacks are a little bit different when they go from low stacks to tall stacks. So we're gonna have to get the fueling right with these stacks to get us some accurate numbers. So we gotta get her warmed up and see what she'll do.
This thing is crazy lean, dude. We gotta add some fuel to her.
So dude, show them right quick the air fuel going from stack to stack.
So we didn't change the tune at all. All we did was change the velocity stacks. And you can see here at 12,000 RPMs, the thing's at 14.4 air fuel ratio. Theoretically, that's 14% too lean. So here's the run from the Stinger stacks. Let's do this. You can see how lean it is. We went from 13.08 air fuel ratio to 14.4 air fuel ratio. That's no tuning adjustments. That is a huge difference. Let me see.
So basically you're seeing, I mean, we made 2 baseline pulls there within 30 minutes of each other. So I mean, this is real accurate data coming from the dyno itself. It's showing us that we need more fuel with these velocity stacks.
So really, the Stinger stacks, the only place they made more power is below 8,000 RPMs. A Honda makes extremely good power down low across the board. So these things more or less just need top end, but you can see here at 11,000 RPMs, even with the bike being way too lean, it still made more power. So here at, I'm gonna simplify this just a little bit. So here at 11.5, we went from a perfect air fuel ratio to a too lean air fuel ratio, and the thing still picked up 9 horsepower.
Because I was even explaining to them earlier, so all of them could be different based on what you're doing with the bike. That power curve on the Stringer stacks, okay, where it goes like this and then jumps up, dude, on a stock wheelbase, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, is that not gonna make it way harder to ride? Like if when I'm on this street racing or I'm on the track and I get to that point where that power curve jumps up like that,
it definitely would do that. So another thing too that we're looking at here, when we put it over in the time based, your time is pretty much the exact same time too from the stacks one to the other. So overall, I think once we fine tune and dial these stacks in, this thing is going to really perform nicely with those stacks that you got in there now.
and they were a pound lighter, dude. I didn't even think about that when I picked up those the turn 13 stacks. Like, man, these things are like paperweight, you know, I mean, so light. Over a pound difference. Crazy. So now let's see if with a little bit of tuning, if we can get that horsepower number. Our overall number was down about 1 horsepower. So let's see with once we fix this air fuel, I believe that might be a different story. And then Big Country's got one more saucy secret that we're gonna try with the Honda. I got some new parts in from G-Force Racing. We're gonna throw those on there and see how this Honda likes that mod. told you I had one more trick up my sleeve, and hopefully this works. We have sent these throttle bodies off to G-Force Racing. You know, I talk about G4 Racing all the time. They make swing arms and do a lot of machine work. We got triple trees from them, all kind of cool stuff. But he has bored these throttle bodies out for the Honda. You can see, look how pretty the machine work is there. G-Force did a great job. Opened these up like 2 millimeters on the overall diameter. So we're hoping that when we remove these restrictions on the Honda, we're hoping that we see, and this is probably only going to be maybe 1 or 2 horsepower, but when we're at this point, guys, we're trying to get every single horsepower we can out of this Honda. So we're going to go ahead and throw these on here. This is still the exact same day. This should take me maybe about 45 minutes to get these put on. And then we're going to be right back on the dyno with our velocity stacks and see how these perform.
Once we put some more fuel in it, dude, it's super lean now. So they definitely help. I'm gonna dial in that fuel curve. Might get you some more horsepower.
Hey, G-Force coming through for us.
They're working.
Guys, Chris had to run, so Big Kountry had to run the dyno a little bit. He did set up my tune and flash it right before he left, so we just had to put it in and make some pulls with it. 3 pulls in a row, she made 186 horsepower. So, I mean, dude, we take in the calculator. I mean, we picked up from where we started this morning to where we're at right now, almost 4 horsepower. 3 to 4 horsepower. Pretty big deal, guys. I mean, our G-Force throttle bodies, maybe not the biggest gains in the world, but hey, for the low price that he's charging to do these things, you guys got to reach out to him and tell him that Big Kountry sent you. He will hook you up. I mean, we're talking about a couple $100 to get these things bored and make, we made at least about 1.5 horsepower more than what we were making earlier with just the stacks. I mean, the results don't lie, because whenever we put the throttle bodies in, we had to add more fuel. Anytime you have to add more fuel, you're making more horsepower. So we definitely made more power. The throttle bodies definitely did help by having them bored out. We're gonna see, I would say you'll definitely see some bigger, you would see bigger numbers on the draggy results. But right here on the dyno, proof's in the pudding. We gained horsepower there. Now on the velocity stacks, I know there's gonna be tons of comments, tons of questions about the velocity stacks. Okay, so Turn 13 Motorsports, reach out to him, tell him Big Kountry sent you. He will hook you up. He's got, I will drop the link to him in the description. Go check him out, guys. We're talking about the stringer stacks, okay? They're good stacks, okay? I'm going to keep them. I'm going to use them. I think drag racing wise, I think they will work good, because I think we'll be able to leave good with that little bit of the way the power graph pulls with the stringer stacks. So I want to still try those on our built motorbike at the drag strip. And it did make a couple more horsepower below 8,000 RPMs. Like I said, it's all about what you're going to do with the bike. For what I'm going to do with this motorcycle, I'm going to be racing at stock wheelbase and either in the street from a roll or from a dead stop at the track. We don't want any crazy curves in our power. We want it to be nice and smooth. So for me, on this one particular bike, the Turn 13 stacks were a better option. All right. Also, keep in mind, we lost weight with the Turn 13 stacks. And guys, the Turn 13 stacks are coming in at $250. $250 versus $1,500 for the stringer stacks. I'm gonna let you guys decide. Comment in the comments below, which stacks would you go with? Do you think the stringer stacks are better? Where do you think they would work better at compared to these 13 stacks? Guys, we made big improvements today. It might not seem like much, but 3 or 4 horsepower on a bike like this, huge deal. And keep in mind, we're still on pump gas. All right. So you guys be sure to freaking subscribe to the channel. If you like this Honda and you like what we're putting out, I already did one mod. Ain't no Honda guy ever done. Bored throttle bodies. If your Honda makes 200 horsepower like all these other guys claim, guess what? It'll make 1.5 to 2 horsepower more with these throttle bodies. All you got to do is hit up G-Force Racing and he'll bore them out for you. Okay? This, guys, is the real deal, the real results. I can't wait to get this thing in the street. We are going to make our maiden voyage soon. I still haven't even took it down the road yet. So I'm super excited. I want to get down the road, try this thing out, see how it feels compared to my GSX-R, get us some draggy numbers, and then, of course, we'll be at the drag strip with it. But until next time, guys, y'all be sure to go to bigkountry.shop. Check out all my merch, man. I got Honda Gang shirts, Honda Gang hoodies. If you're got a Honda, you better get in the Honda Gang. Go check it out. I got all kinds of other cool stuff for you guys that ain't in the Hondas. Plus, all my discount codes are on bigkountry.shop. Brock's Performance, Core Moto, more Mafia, and a lot more. I got titanium bolts, fairings. Man, I got like 20 discount codes on there, guys. Go help yourself out. It's free money, free discounts. It don't cost you anything. What is there to complain about? Go use it. That is my treat to you, my treat for you subscribing to this channel. I appreciate you guys so much. And until next time, y'all be sure to keep it country.